The Four Corner Hustlers always have been one of the largest street gangs in the city of Chicago, with them mainly having a large presence on the west side. The Four Corner Hustlers, along with the Vice Lords, have always been known for being the top two deepest mobs on the west side of Chicago.
The west side is overrun by gangs and narcotics trafficking. Every 3.5 seconds, there was an in-progress police call on the citywide radio.
The Four Corner Hustlers was originally started by a group of unknown Vice Lords with members like Walter Wheat, Freddie Gage, Curtis Henderson, and other unknown Vice Lord members that grew up on Jackson and Springfield in the West Garfield Park neighborhood around 1967 to 1968. The Four Corner Hustlers and unknown Vice Lords are first cousins with each other. The term Four Corners in the Four Corner Hustlers gang is a meaning for hustling on each of the four corners of the world.
It stood for the four corners of the world. That's what we was claiming, the four corners of the world. We were saying that there was no limitations to Four Corner Hustlers. We did our own thing in terms of hustling. We carried dice and we shot pool.
Stealing cars, petty thefts, ripping off neighborhood stores, and over time it escalated.
They really had no regard for human life. They were sticking up, shooting, robbing, running around far more aggressively than the other gangs were.
Things that signify hustler itself was getting money. Anywhere from gambling to theft, dump trucks. Again, they would rob the pushers in the neighborhood, and that's how they hustled. Whatever way to get a dollar.
The original Four Corner Hustlers territory used to range a total of 8 blocks from Madison to Jackson, Hamlin to Pulaski.
Gangs that controlled this area were making a tremendous amount of money. Some spots were making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a day.
They were the king of the hill. That certain area was their area, and they defended it at all costs.
The Four Corner Hustlers still run all 8 of those blocks in 2025, with the current generation that runs that area going by TOSNEM or FSG/Sosa Drive.
But when I did my research on this hood, though, I seen that, like, you know, somebody saying that just like the motherland of the foes, this the first FOES hood where FOES originated from.
Yeah, you know that on my dead homie, yeah. So I'm not no foe.
Before the Angelo Four Corner Hustlers and BodySnatcher, Four Corner Hustlers started coming to the Austin area in the late 90s. The solid Four Corner Hustlers used to have an alliance of several solid Four Corner Hustler factions moving as one big gang-controlled neighborhood called M-Town, located from Chicago Avenue to Division Street, Austin Boulevard to Central Avenue. The Four Corner Hustlers sets in Austin that people know of nowadays, which is DCG and MNA, used to both be a part of the historical M-Town neighborhood, with MNA being on the Chicago Avenue side of M-Town, while DCG aka Jack Boys was on the Division side of M-Town. The headquarters of M-Town was Division and Parkside, which is seen as one of DCG's main blocks. They operate in the present day. Before we start talking about the two sets, DCG and MNA, and the deadly gang war between both of them, we will be giving you guys some quick history on the BodySnatcher and Angelo Four Corner Hustler factions that DCG and MNA are under, and the gang leaders behind each of the two factions. After the death of Angelo Roberts, M-Town would start splitting up into different Four Corner Hustler groups, while the Angelo and BodySnatcher Four Corner Hustlers started to expand around the Austin area. The Angelo and BodySnatcher Four Corner Hustlers both represent and are under the Black Diamond, while the Maniac Solid Four Corner Hustlers still are under the Finball Act.
What's the difference between like BodySnatcher foes, Angelo foes, and we foes?
I ain't gonna lie. Some of they ass under the fin. We not under the fin. We under the Black Diamond. I ain't gonna lie. So like we don't honor a lot of that shit they be having going on.
Monroe Banks aka Money is the founder of the Black Diamond. The Black Diamond was created as an alternative to the 5-point star Finball Act. The 4 points in the Black Diamond are LHKT, which stands for Love, Hate, Kill, Take.
All day. Love, hate, kill, take.
The Black Souls also are under the Black Diamond as well. The BodySnatcher Four Corner Hustlers and Angelo Four Corner Hustlers are under two different Four Corner Hustler gang leaders, Angelo Roberts and Shaky Sean. Angelo Roberts grew up in the Henry Hornets projects on the near west side of Chicago. While originally being a member of the Gangster Stones, Angelo would later become one of the Four Corner Hustlers after he would end up being in a relationship with Walter Wheat's daughter and even had a baby with her. In 1994, while being in Cook County Jail on a weapons charge, Roberts had a plan to take over the Four Corner Hustler street gang and go against anyone who disagrees with his actions.
It was very, very wild, and he was all about violence.
He wanted to run the entire Four Corner Hustlers, and at one point, I think he had grandiose ideas of controlling the whole West Side.
Angelo was planning on expanding the Four Corner Hustlers throughout the West Side and city of Chicago as a whole. After the death of Monroe Moneybanks, Angelo would take his role and become the leader and enforcer of the younger Four Corner Hustlers that was coming up in the streets of Chicago. Angelo Roberts would open up many Four Corner Hustler factions in Chicago under his wing, with majority being located in the Austin area and West Garfield Park neighborhood.
His reputation in the Four Corner Hustlers was fear. They were very, very fearful of him because of his complete neglect for human life and authority, and he was uncontrollable. He was viewed on the street as a stone-cold killer that would kill for practice, he would kill for sport, he would kill for power, and through that reputation and that fear, he was able to lead. Roberts backed down from no one. He had no fear and was able to use this mindset to create violence throughout the whole community.
Lowe was a cat who could make an example out of guys. Lowe would kick your head off your shoulder.
Angelo would even open up several new Four Corner Hustler branches in Belmont Craigen and the northwest side of Chicago, with the known ones being L.A. Street, located on Lockwood and Altgeld, and A.C., being located on Addison and Cicero. One of Angelo's plans on taking over the West Side and the Four Corner Hustler street gang was to assassinate each of the original founders, including King Walter Wheat, on July 25, 1994. Walter Wheat was sitting in a car alone on the 3815 block of West Chicago Avenue when a 17-year-old Four Corner Hustler member at the time would ride up to him while on a bicycle and shoot within the head and chest with a 9mm handgun. Bobby Cooley was under Angelo Roberts' wing, and Angelo was allegedly the one that sent Cooley on the Wheat assassination. Bobby Cooley was originally sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Walter Wheat and attempted murders on other victims he shot in the past, but got his sentence reduced and is expected to be released on parole from prison in 2032. After the tragic death of the legendary Four Corner Hustler gang leader Walter Wheat, Angelo Roberts would allegedly get backdoored by his own gang for getting the leader and the founder killed. On Monday, January 17, 1995, at around 1 a.m., Angelo Roberts' body was found laying frozen inside of a car trunk of the 7000 block of South Vernon Avenue. His murder still remains unsolved till this day. Some people even say he was killed by Chicago police because of his plan to blow up the police station and his fear of power in the streets. After the murder of Angelo Roberts, Ray Longstreet, aka Strawberry, had taken over the mantle and became the new leader of the Four Corner Hustlers. The BodySnatcher. Four Corner Hustlers originally started off as an unknown vice lords group, going by the BodySnatcher Unknown Vice Lords in the West Garfield Park neighborhood in the late 1980s on Flournoy and Springfield, and also used to be located in the North Lawndale neighborhood around Douglas Street. The BodySnatcher Unknown Vice Lords started transferring over towards the Austin area in the early 90s after having internal beef with other nearby unknown Vice Lord factions in the same neighborhood. Raymond Betts, aka Shaky Sean, would form the BodySnatcher Four Corner Hustlers as an enforcer group once they moved to the Austin area in 1992, flipping multiple Vice Lord factions in Austin to BodySnatcher. Four Corner Hustlers that were under his wing while also being known for wrecking havoc in the neighborhood.
BodySnatcher foes?
Yes, this started over here. It started right here. We really took over Erie since like we was young. I was some niggas that was claiming that we grew up, we took it over. Like, they weren't for them, they was from another gang.
Y'all say unknown, like unknown Vice Lord?
Yeah, they were Vice Lord.
Shaky was close with some of the original members and leaders of the Four Corner Hustlers, like Ray Longstreet, aka Ray or Strawberry, which made him earn the title and rank of the Prince of the Four Corner Hustlers gang. These Four Corner Hustlers that he started to form under his wing was spreading throughout 75% of the Austin neighborhood, stretching from the Eisenhower Expressway all the way to North Avenue and from Austin to Laramie. The original headquarters for the BodySnatcher Four Corner Hustlers was known to be located on Chicago Avenue in Menard. The gang also worked out 3 specific districts on the west side of Chicago, which was Harrison, Austin, and Grand to Central. Chicago police have said that the gang was using violence and kidnapping to control territories. The gang was conducting open-air drug deals, selling heroin and illegal cigarettes, with some blocks around the Capitol Hill area of Austin, like Madison Street, being by the police station. Shaky Sean's operations were drawing $10,000 a day in drug sales, with majority of the action taking place around blocks like Menard, and Superior, and the 5800 block of West Huron Street, which is Huron and Menard. The police said that the BodySnatcher four-corner hustlers were responsible for many murders on the west side and even many arsons in which innocent people were killed and injured. In 1994, Raymond Betts was sentenced to 12 years in prison, being convicted on armed violence and aggravated kidnapping charges. After Ray Longstreet got incarcerated and sent to the feds in 2005, Shaky Sean took over the mantle and became the entire leader of the Four Corner Hustlers street gang. After being released from prison in April of 2006, homicides started going up drastically on the west side of Chicago. Shaky had moved to St. Charles after being released from prison, but still was in west side business. In May of 2008, Shaky Sean and 55 other individual Four Corner Hustler members were arrested following an 18-month investigation called Operation Capitol Hill. By Chicago police, investigators have involved 22,000 intercepted telephone calls, more than 100 undercover drug buys of narcotics, and even infiltrated a secretive hierarchy from Betts. On May 30th, 2019, Raymond Betts was arrested on federal charges for conspiracy to possess a controlled substance with the intent to deliver. Betts was accused of selling wholesale quantities on the west side and south suburbs of Chicago. Betts distributed 8 transactions for a total of 136.4 grams of heroin between December 2018 to March 2019, with 7 of the deals occurring in the Austin neighborhood on the 5300 block of West Washington Boulevard, while 1 out of the 7 transactions occurred in an alley in the Riverdale suburb near the 13800 block of South Edbrook Avenue. Betts, or one of his co-defendants, sold 1 out of the 8 transactions to a law enforcement confidential source, which would lead to him and his co-defendant arrest 2 months later. After March of 2019, Shaky Sean even had plans on expanding his trafficking operation in other states, specifically into the northern part of Indiana. Shaky pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute heroin in January of 2023 and was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison 3 months later, while also having 8 years of supervised release. The BodySnatcher Four Corner Hustlers also go by 219, which stands for the first 2 letters of each of the names Body and Snatcher. The 2 in the name 219 stands for the second letter of the alphabet B, which is the first letter spelled in the word body, while the 19 stands for the 19th letter in the alphabet S, which is the first letter spelled in the word for snatchers.
219, what that mean?
Body Snatcher, that's Body Snatcher. 2B19X.
For sure.
The Four Corner Hustlers have always historically been known for being enemies with other known street gangs in Chicago, like the Mafia Insane Vice Lords, Black Souls, and Gangster Disciples. But while being at war with other nations, the Four Corner Hustlers' biggest rivals was always themselves.
I think that we were our worst enemy.
Before we talk about the recent but active gang war between DCG and MNA, we will be taking a brief look into both sets, giving detail of each set. DCG and MNA are under 2 different Four Corner Hustler gang leaders, with both of their territory being right next to each other. MNA and DCG are both located on opposite sides of Division Street, with both of their territories stretching from Austin Boulevard all the way to Central Avenue. DCG is seen having control of streets like Potomac and Hirsch, while MNA is seen controlling streets like Thomas, Augusta, Iowa, and Chicago Avenue. DCG is a set of Angelo Four Corner Hustlers under Angelo Roberts' wing located in the Austin neighborhood on the west side of Chicago. DCG started becoming Angelo Four Corner Hustlers in the late 90s after the passing of Angelo, and around the time when white gangs like the PVRs, which stood for Playboy Venture Rice Boys, started leaving the Austin area, and more of the African Americans started to move in the neighborhood. DCG's main blocks that they operate include Potomac and Mayfield, Potomac and Mason, Division and Mason, Division and Central, and Potomac and Parkside. DCG stands for Dirk City Gang in honor of a fallen member named Clarence Coakley, aka Dirk, who was killed allegedly by Sane Gang M20 on November 7, 2016. Dirk was on the 4600 block of West Lake Street at 3:30 p.m. when a M20 Sane Gang member would walk up and shoot him several times in the upper torso. Dirk was pronounced dead on the scene 20 minutes later at 3:50 p.m. No one is in custody currently in present day. The name Dirk City Gang was adopted in his honor. DCG also goes by SMG, which stands for Snacks Money Gang, in honor of a fallen member named Snacks, aka Deontay Dale, who was killed in the same year as Dirk in 2016, also allegedly to same gang M20 prior to Dirk. On January 21st, 2016, Snacks was found unresponsive with multiple gunshot wounds while sitting inside of a light blue sedan being parked on the 1700 block of North Menard Avenue at 10:12 p.m. Snacks, who actually lived on the same block where the shooting happened at, was pronounced dead at Mount Sinai Hospital an hour later at 11:03 p.m. Before the passing of Clarence Coakley, aka Dirk, and Deontay Dale, aka Snacks. They were going by Jack Boys, or JBMG, which stood for Jack Boy Money Gang, and P-Block stands for the first letter of either Potomac and Mayfield or Potomac and Parkside. The founders of the Jack Boys generation include members like Drilla Woody, Big C aka Carlos Simmons, DCG Drama, his brother DCG Big Foe aka Big Surge, and SMG Banky. DCG's main shooters and killers include members like DCG Drama, Gouda, Mo, Jack Boy Drilla Woody, G Bagel, Lil Mark aka Millie, P-Block Did It, Spanky Gang Relly, and Tady aka Tarvey. DCG's main allies on the west side include Toss Gang aka L Block, Hood Rich Young Money aka Snatch Nem 1800-500, and Fro Gang aka Monroe Millionaires. DCG also used to be allied with BKN and the Jungle aka Muff Mob, but had a fallout in 2024 around the time BKN lost two beloved members named Monty and Lil Rob, allegedly killed by Bloodhound Lil Jeff. DCG's most notable enemies include the whole entire Sangang alliance in Austin, mainly being M20 and OTA, and MNA, who we will be getting into next. DCG's most notable rappers include the brothers, being Shun and B Sav, DCG M Sav, Baby Go, and DCG Drama, who was killed in 2022. MNA is a set of BodySnatcher 4 corner hustlers under the wing of Shaky Sean, located in the Austin neighborhood on the west side of Chicago. MNA's history goes all the way back to the 90s, during the time Shaky Sean started to form the BodySnatcher 4 corner hustlers in the Austin neighborhood. MNA's entire territory stretches from Chicago Avenue to Division Street and Mayfield Avenue to Central Avenue.
How big you say y'all hood is? Like, how many blocks is it? I ain't gonna lie, big. We got a whole block. Like a big ass rectangle.
MNA has multiple meanings, standing for either Menard and Augusta, Mayfield and Augusta, Massasoit and Augusta, which are their three main blocks that they operate.
So y'all original name MNA type shit. Yeah. How that name come about? Tell them a little bit of history about that.
MNA, that's like, them the blocks type shit. Like, it's really like Menard and Augusta, Mayfield and Augusta, Massasoit and Augusta. Like that.
The three letters in MNA also stand for Money and Augusta. MNA also goes by 13-1, which stands for MNA, with the 13 standing for the 13th letter of the alphabet M, which is the first letter of Mayfield, Massasoit, and Menards, and the 1 standing for the first letter of the alphabet A, which is the first letter of Augusta. MNA has other notable blocks that they're known for being posted on, including blocks like Chicago Avenue and Waller and Parkside and Iowa, which is why they go by the name Parkside Money Gang.
We got Parkside, Iowa, we got Waller, Chicago Avenue, Iowa.
MNA also goes by M-Pat Gang in honor of a fallen MNA member named Marcus Patrick, aka M-Pat, who was gunned down in 2016. On May 18, 2016, M-Pat and a 21-year-old man were outside on the 5800 block of West Augusta Boulevard at 5:30 p.m. when a passing vehicle came through and shot both of the two. M-Pat was shot multiple times in the wrist and the chest and was taken to Loyola University Medical Center, where he was later pronounced dead nearly an hour later at 6:13 p.m., dying from multiple gunshot wounds. The 21-year-old man shot along with M-Pat was shot in the finger and arm, but was in stable condition.
So how y'all come with the name M-Pat Gang?
They come from Big Bro.
MNA's allies include other BodySnatcher 4-corner hustler sets in the Austin neighborhood, such as Black Mob aka Cello Gang, located on Potomac and Lamont.
M-Pat Gang, Black Mob,
Great Lakes aka O Boys, located on Menard and Ohio, and Erie and Menard, and LA, located on Augusta and Laurel.
Shout out LA snatchers too. MNA, we all snatchers.
MNA is also allied with some of the same gang sets in the Austin neighborhood, such as OTA and M20. A member from DCG was actually seen on Facebook calling MNA and Sane Gang out for being allied. MNA is known for beefing with some of most known sets on the west side of Chicago, including Vonoff 17, 100 and Toss Gang aka L Block, B Gang aka K Unit, located on Maypole and Karlov, Ghost Mob aka TNG, located on Lemon in Iowa, and most recently, DCG, who we are also discussing about. MNA's main shooters and killers include members like Little Chucky aka Little Don, T Glizzy aka Gen 5, Lil D the Menace, Momo Smith, Ree Diddy and Joe Diddy, MNA Ray Money, M Pat Gang Zero, MNA Marquez Ghostin, Lil Devin, Tyshawn Terry aka Ty Money or MNA Tyshawn, Lamonte Foster aka MNA Lil Monte, 2-3 Gang Sav. The main rappers from MNA include M Pat Gang Zero, G23, Augusta Gang, AMGGO, 2-3, Bruce Wayne, T Glizzy aka Gen 5, M Pat Gang Spook, 2-3 Gang PG aka Paul George, Mikey 2 Times, and Dirty Red. While DCG and MNA would be down the street from each other on opposite sides of Division Street and under different factions and leaders of the Four Corner Hustlers, they would be cordial for decades until around the end of 2019, where everything started to change. In the year 2019, Mondre Brown aka Top Auto from OTA Sane Gang used to be in a relationship with Big Niche from Black Mob aka Cello Gang, which would form the relationship and alliance between Sane Gang OTA, Black Mob, and MNA.
Black Mob now, free Big Glow, free Big Niche, man. Free Big Glow.
After the death of Top Auto, who was allegedly killed by DCG on October 21st, 2019, Black Mob and MNA would be heard about the death of Top, which is what started the tension between MNA and Jack Boys. They would even be sneak dissing each other on social media for months, with members from DCG honoring deceased L Block members like Sosa and Lil Priest, who were allegedly killed by MNA. But it would be until 2020 when the war would officially start. While the DCG brothers and M Sav were making a big name for themselves in the rap game, releasing songs with millions of views, and even getting shouted out by rappers like Lil Baby. It was a lot of street business going on behind the scenes, with the war with them and MNA becoming official when MNA would take the life of a well-respected and beloved member from DCG the following year. They were blowing up in terms of music. On April 10th, 2020, members of DCG aka Jack Boys had made an attempt to rob one of MNA's dope spots in their hood. But while doing that, MNA would start tracking the DCG members down. While MNA was behind DCG in traffic, a DCG member would call Chief Rio aka Demario Wyatt, letting him know that some people are tracking them down to the hood, and would have Rio waiting with his gun, ready to get in a shootout and assist the members. After DCG members retreated back to the hood with MNA being followed by them, Chief Rio had stepped out while being on the 5900 block of West Potomac Avenue when he had put his gun away and recognized the MNA members. Rio was trying to calm everything down, and even said that MNA is cool and supposed to be the guys, meaning that MNA is supposed to be their friends or allies. MNA refused to listen and shot Chief Rio in the arm and hip, pronouncing him dead at Stroger Hospital in the same day. DCG was devastated after the death of Rio, and they were never the same. After the death of Chief Rio, DCG Drama had gotten a face tattoo in honor of him. Chief Rio was a very close friend to DCG Drama. This death would turn Drama to even more of a demon, as he already had killed 4 people prior to the death of Rio, and war with MNA beginning to happen. DCG Shun revealed in his song titled For Real that before the death of Chief Rio, they used to be cool with MNA.
Before Rio died, we was cool with y'all. Them niggas used to play my shit.
The death of Rio would start a deadly gang beef and fallout between the two Four Corner Hustler sets. After the death of Chief Rio, DCG would not hesitate and would get their revenge 1 month later. On May 31st, 2020, Tyrell Clark, aka Rello from MNA, was shot and killed on the 1200 block of North Mason Avenue, which is one of DCG's main blocks that they operate, being Division and Mason. At around 5:25 a.m., a DCG member in a vehicle had pulled up beside 25-year-old Rello and shot him multiple times, pronouncing him dead at the scene. Relo's murder was actually caught on camera, showing that he actually was talking to DCG members on Division and Mason, trying to calm the beef down and have their hoods remain cordial. But DCG would not listen, as they were still devastated after the death of Chief Rio, and would not hesitate to get their get back, shooting and killing Relo right after exchanging words with him. Relo was a huge loss for MNA, with the whole hood being hurt and heartbroken about his death, as he would be the first member from MNA to die in the war with them and DCG. After the death of Relo, MNA would waste no time and retaliate on DCG the same day, in just 8 hours after their fallen member Relo was gunned down around 5 a.m. On May 31st, 2020 at around 2 p.m. at the North Riverside Mall in Berwyn, there were a number of looting incidents happening, with hundreds of people descending, wielding baseball bats, crowbars, and hammers, with them breaking into more than half a dozen stores, grabbing merchandise from jewelry stores, shoe stores, and others' businesses before running back to their cars in the parking lot. Police arrived in riot gear, chasing looters. While all of that was happening, 10 gunshots rang out near the northeast exit to the mall, being outside of Olive Garden. 22-year-old Myquan Blanchard, aka Choka or Black Glow from DCG, was found dead at the scene after an MNA member allegedly tracked him down and shot him multiple times at point-blank range, killing him execution style. Police had released surveillance footage days later, showing that at around 2:40 p.m., a man who would be seen wearing a mask, a gray hooded sweatshirt, and black sweatpants running up to Choka as he would trip over the curb and fall to the pavement, firing shots at him from just a foot or two away behind the Olive Garden restaurant at the mall. While investigating, police said that the shooting did not appear to have involved police and was reportedly gang-related. Black Glow was a huge loss for DCG, as they were coming up in the music scene and seen as a huge score for MNA. Choka was seen as like the muscle and the bully of Jack Boys to all the members. Black Glow, aka Choka, was blood brothers with another fallen DCG member named Shock Glow, who passed away on December 9th, 2016. Choka's death would be the loss that would motivate DCG and mainly Drama to start going on a rampage on MNA in the future.
Don't let choke, my niggas been grieving.
Them niggas be lying in all they rap, so I'ma just tell you what it is. Choke got chased out of shoes. They say he ain't make it, broke as a trying to steal.
They talk about some get back, get y'all homie from the mob.
1 year later, in 2021, DCG Drama would start casually sliding on MNA from May to June of 2021, around the time Choka passed away, looking for revenge and also trying to catch up on the score. Drama would even make a post on the 1-year anniversary Choka passed away, saying that he hasn't been on the internet or wrote anything because he's been focusing on trying to retaliate from the mall incident. But Drama would finally retaliate for one of his closest friends he lost when he would take the life of a well-loved 39-year-old OG MNA member named Pooh, who was killed while trying to slide on DCG's main block. On June 5th, 2021, Gerald Collymore III, aka Pooh from MNA, was found unresponsive at 1:30 a.m. with gunshot wounds from the head and chest on the 1300 block of North Mayfield Avenue, on the main block DCG operates, being Potomac and Mayfield. Chicago police said that Pooh was pronounced dead on the scene and ruled his death as a homicide. A 26-year-old man was also hurt in the shooting as he was shot in the ankle, but was in stable condition after self-transporting to West Suburban Hospital and transferring to Loyola University Medical Center. Chicago police said that the witnesses of that shooting refused to cooperate with the investigation. Pooh was close with mainly the older BodySnatcher Four Corner Hustler members from both MNA and LA, Augusta, and Laurel. They were seen heard on social media honoring him as he had passed away at almost 40 years old. DCG Drama is rumored to have been the killer of Pooh, as this would be the 5th person he killed at the time, exactly 1 month as he just turned 26 years old. On the same day Pooh from MNA was shot and killed, somebody on the legal help firm account would wrongfully make an inaccurate post about DCG Drama being killed on the same day as Pooh. DCG Drama had screenshotted and reposted it on Facebook, jokingly referring to himself as The Walking Dead, saying that his enemies were praying for it to be true. Other notable DCG members were seen on Facebook joking about the situation, saying that he didn't even get shot during the shooting with Pooh and the 26-year-old man. DCG Drama would not stop there and would allegedly kill another well-beloved MNA member later in the same year, who had recently been released from prison after doing a 10-year bid. On September 25, 2021, Marquise Roy Isaac aka Lil Jock from MNA was shot and killed allegedly by DCG Drama in Augusta to Division and Central. Lil Jock's mother was also shot alongside with him by DCG Drama. After the death of Lil Jock, rappers from DCG like B-Sav and M-Sav were celebrating the death of Lil Jock from MNA as they would finally change the score, making it 3-2 after allegedly killing Lil Jock. MNA rapper Dirty Red would respond to the 3 DCG rappers the same day by tagging them on an Instagram story and showing the infamous video of Choka from DCG being shot and killed by a member from MNA at the North Riverside Mall. DCG Drama would make a post the next day tagging Chief Rio and Choka, who were killed by MNA prior to the murder of Lil Jock from MNA, saying that he knows that they're proud of him after avenging the 2 deceased members by killing 2 members from MNA in the same year. I tried looking up a news article about Lil Jock for days, but unfortunately, nothing popped up. I tried texting rapper Dirty Red from MNA, and he would tell me that it's no way of finding an article, but confirming to me that Lil Jock was indeed killed by DCG. The whole MNA was devastated, and after the death of Lil Jock, as he was close to many of the members of his age group, and even the younger members of MNA. Lil Jock left behind 2 sons prior to his death. Now they sadly have to grow up without a father.
He died on Central. Why he died? The nigga was this.
MNA would slide on DCG exactly 1 week after the murder of Lil Jock, looking for retaliation. But as they were sliding, things would unfortunately go left for MNA as they were doing so. On October 1st, 2021, 32-year-old Devlin Addison aka D-Man or Don D from MNA was shot to death while in a shootout on the 1200 block of North Mason Avenue, which would ironically be the same block that Rello from MNA was shot and killed on, allegedly by the same gang 1 year prior. The situation began when Chicago police had responded to a call of a MNA member with a gun involving 2 Dodge charges near the intersection of Austin Boulevard and Hirsch Street at around nearly 11 a.m. Shortly after, police had soon encountered a light blue Charger, followed by a black Charger driving south on Mason Avenue, with T Glizzy from MNA sitting in the black Charger. The 2 Dodge Chargers pulled up on the 1200 block of North Mason Avenue, with 4 people getting out each of the 2 cars and opening fire, stopping in front of a home when 2 DCG members would be hanging out of the home's second-floor window and shooting back. 2 MNA members emerged from the passenger side of the blue Charger and began firing at the house. Surveillance footage shows that T Glizzy, Don D, and other MNA members got out the 2 separate Chargers and started firing towards the house, with Don D being fatally shot in the head, chest, shoulder, and leg. Both of the black and blue Chargers drove around D-Man's body and left the scene, while the police officers approached in a car and on foot with weapons drawn. While searching his body, investigators found 27 rounds and a gun equipped with an extended magazine and a switch on the back of his gun. A total of 70 shell castings was found in the area. 2 DCG members inside the home were also shot, with one of the 2 DCG members being hit in the eye. The SWAT team cleared the entire home and arrested the 2 DCG members after the shooting, but later released them without being charged. A man, woman, and juvenile were safely removed from the home while the SWAT team was securing the scene. DCG Drama made a post on Facebook mocking D-Man as he would be killed while trying to slide, and calling him and MNA amateurs for the failed attempt, and saying that they got them on the Channel 7 News. DCG and Toss Gang would even be sharing the shootout video on camera, mocking MNA for allegedly pushing D-Man out the car during the shootout, saying that they left their friend on a hit. Vonoff 1700 would be seen clowning MNA, saying that D-Man got third-partied.
That nigga must lost to the hall, he came through Thorn and got left in the middle of the street.
Asked the A, they tried to slide up Mason, they got left on head. Get up, D-Man. Get up, Doc. What happened when D got hit? D-Man.
The death of D-Man would break MNA as a gang, as he would be the second loss for them, with another well-beloved member in just a 1-week span. D-Man was shortly killed after being released from prison, similar to Lil Jock, who was killed by the same gang after doing over 10 years in prison. A member from MNA said that D-Man and Lil Jock both came home after doing 10+ years, jumping in a new warhead first for the gang that wouldn't do the same for them. D-Man was sentenced to 13 years in prison for an aggravated battery case in 2008. T Glizzy from MNA was shot in the chest and later pulled up to West Suburban Hospital with the Charger. The black Charger quickly left the hospital and collided with a van on Austin Boulevard. Police would find the MNA member hiding under a porch after the Charger that was reportedly stolen crashed. Inside the stolen car, police found 3 guns and a backpack containing key fobs and a key fob programmer. The 3 guns found inside the Charger were a Glock 22, Glock 23, and Mini Draco. DNA tests found genetic material from 4 people on the Glocks, including T. Glizzy, to be one of the individuals, but his DNA was not found on the Mini Draco. A few months later, on February 10, 2022, T. Glizzy from MNA was arrested and charged with 3 counts of aggravated unlawful use of weapons stemming from the shootout with DCG a few months prior on October. Kim Fox described the weapon T. Glizzy used as a machine gun and said he was facing a sentence of 6 to 30 years on each count if convicted. Prosecutors at first refused to press charges on all of the gunmen due to all of them being engaged in mutual combat, saying that it was the reason for the rejection, but it would take months of public outrage for prosecutors to finally approve charges on one of the shooters being T. Glizzy. Chicago police also tried to repeatedly get prosecutors to sign off on murder charges against Dean, but never went successful. Mayor Lori Lightfoot described the shooting, saying it resembled something out of a Wild Wild West movie. Lori Lightfoot believed that there are charges that can be bought at minimum against individuals like T. Glizzy, who initiated the gunfire. Court records show that no other defendants were charged in T. Glizzy's case. Officials weren't able to announce any charges against others. 1 year later, T. Glizzy would plead guilty to 3 felony gun charges in exchange for a 10-year sentence. The judge sentenced T. Glizzy to 3 years in prison for aggravated unlawful use of a weapon and 10 years for machine gun possession charges. T. Glizzy was later released on parole from prison on June 20, 2025. The DCG brothers had released a new album the following year on April 8, 2022, titled Jungle Life, based on the Black Disciple set called The Jungle aka Nitty Gang, or Muff Mob, located on the near west side of Chicago, who they were heavily allied with at the time, before falling out with each other years later in 2024. 1 month after the DCG brothers released the Jungle Life album, an MNA member was ironically shot and killed while sitting in a parked car in the Jungle's territory, allegedly by DCG Drama, making this the 3rd person from MNA he killed, and also the 7th person he killed in his entire life living. On May 12, 2022, 33-year-old Jer Buford, aka Dre from MNA, was discovered by Chicago police at nearly midnight, with multiple gunshot wounds on the 200 block of South Hoyne Avenue, which is one of the Jungle's main blocks that they operate near the Dahmen Court projects. Dre was pronounced dead on the scene. DCG was celebrating the death of Jer on Instagram and Facebook, as he was seen as a huge score for them, and even referring to him as the Hood Trophy.
Oh, what I was gonna say.
Message!
Many MNA members were seen on social media heartbroken about the death. Dr. Dre was very close with specific members like MNA Ray Money and MNA Dirty Red. After allegedly killing Dre and boosting his rank up even more, DCG Drama would earn the nickname Mr. 7-0 after allegedly killing a total of 7 people in his entire career of gangbanging as a member of the Angelo Four Corner Hustlers street gang.
And I don't know about other niggas, but I'm like 7-up. Dre got hit in the head, he was trying to get some food. What happened when Ja got hit? Hey, Ja. What happened when Dre got hit? Hey, real.
The war with DCG and MNA started to heat up even more after the death of Dre, with several events and shootouts happening, but before another person would be murdered in the war. MNA and DCG would actually encounter each other at the Rodwave concert on November of 2022 and would get into a huge brawl on videotape. DCG Shun, DCG Drama, and other members of DCG were seen on camera intervening during the gang fight. DCG Drama and Dirty Red would also be seen going at it a few times on social media and direct messages, with DCG Drama even announcing the current score in the war being 5-2, and even saying that Dirty Red and MNA is losing. DCG Drama would even tell Dirty Red that he's the next person to die. On November 21st, 2022, Dirty Red would have his last conversation with Drama, saying that he's going to throw a party for him before the year's over. Drama would respond, telling Dirty Red that he knows he likes what he does out in the streets, while also determining what's going to happen when the two see each other. Ironically, exactly 1 month later, Drama would be the next person to get shot and killed during the bloody war with DCG and MNA a few days before the year 2023 would start. On December 27, 2022, 27-year-old Dennis Johnson, aka DCG Drama, of the 1300 block of North Mayfield Avenue, was shot to death outside of the Loads of Fun laundromat at Oak Park, Illinois.
A man who was shot in Oak Park has died. Police think this was a targeted shooting last night, and there is no danger to the general public. The victim was found outside a laundromat at 14 Chicago Avenue. Police identify the victim as 27-year-old Chicago resident Dennis Johnson.
The shooting happened on the 14th block of Chicago Avenue around 8:38 p.m., which is the start of MNA and MIGS territory on Chicago Avenue in Austin. Officers responded to a call of shots fired and identified Drama at the rear of the facility with multiple gunshot wounds. Drama was transported by a Chicago Fire Department ambulance for medical attention, but died as a result of his injuries. Police and authorities indicated that Drama was targeted by a group of assailants. After the death of Drama, DCG Shun would reveal to the world that Drama took the life of 7 people, referring to him as Mr. 7-0, while posting a throwback picture of him and B. Sav as kids with Drama, before he would tragically be gunned down. DCG Big Foe, aka Big Surge, who was the big brother of Drama from the same set, was seen on Facebook devastated and grieving. But while grieving, he would also reveal to the public how ruthless and how much of a savage DCG Drama was. Good Mo was honoring Drama, saying that he's mad that Drama gave MNA something to talk about. DCG Drama would be the biggest score for MNA, with MNA Ray Money sharing Drama's death article, hinting that they had just scored and retaliated on DCG for the murder of Dre from MNA, who was killed earlier in the same year, allegedly by DCG Drama. Dirty Red would even pull up to the death location Drama was shot and killed at and make a video mocking Drama while even standing by the laundromat he was killed near.
Yeah, man, everybody can't be up here with loads of fun, having loads of fun. Y'all already know what it is. How we be coming, man? Up here, loads of fun, having loads of fun. Get your ass washed and dried up here. Loads of fun. Stay y'all ass out of here, boy. Stay y'all ass out of here, boy. I'll be up here shaking ass. It ain't good for y'all, man. Up here shaking ass. Talking about you having loads of fun. Niggas gonna come and have loads of fun. The biggest.
He would also post the direct messages him and Drama had quoting "Get Up Drama" in the messages the same day he died at just 6 a.m. He would also be saying that he told Drama so when he said he was throwing a party the end of the year for him. Dirty Red would also post an upcoming mixtape titled "Oh Lord" with the 3 DCG members MNA allegedly killed being Rio, Choka, and Drama in the mixtape cover. Dirty Red would also even put the Loads of Fun laundromat Drama died at in the cover. Drama would be the biggest loss for DCG, and they were never the same after the death of their fallen member who put in so much work. After the murder of DCG Drama, the war with DCG and MNA started to die down, and no crazy events happened since then, as of 2025. The current score in this war with the 2 different 4-corner hustler sets is 5-3, with DCG being in the lead, winning by 2 points, and MNA being down, losing by 2 points. That would be it for this video. Like, comment, and subscribe for more accurate, high-profile street content. Hood Encyclopedia signing out with you guys. Have a great rest of the day.